showdown for Arizona coming up on Saturday. Those will be down the road in Eugene to take on Oregon, a matchup of the top two teams in the Pac-12. But Arizona here in Corvallis tonight. And Lauri Markkanen, Corey, emerging as one of the premier players in college basketball.
Roxy, that's right. You have to see it to believe it. 7 feet tall, can shoot the three, plays all over the court, and Arizona uses him in a variety of ways. Pick and pop, in the lane, alley-oop lobs. There's nothing he can't do. He has an outstanding sense of way to score around the rim, and he's a key to that Wildcat offense.
51% from three for Markkanen, but the most important player on this Arizona team, Corey, could be Kadeem Allen.
The heart and soul of the Arizona Wildcat team this season. Kadeem Allen draws all the tough defensive assignments, and not only that, he does a lot of intangibles in terms of blocks, rebounds, steals, getting charges. He does it all.
Sean Miller thinks that Kadeem Allen is the best defensive player in the Pac-12. You agree with the Arizona coach?
Make a definite case for that. The pressure he puts out front sets the tone. He keeps great players from breaking down the defense and getting in the lane.
Last minute instructions from Sean Miller. It's Arizona 20-2. They have not lost since early December. And it's the third longest active winning streak in college basketball. In fact, the top three winning streaks are all in the West. When you look at Gonzaga, who's still unbeaten, the only remaining unbeaten team in college basketball, and New Mexico State is on a pretty impressive run as well. As Sean Miller has been reported, he received a contract extension through 2022 as the head coach of Arizona, two-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year in his 8th year in Tucson. There is the senior, Kadeem Allen. On the other end, Wayne Tinkle is third year at Oregon State, and last year he ended a 25-year drought for Oregon State, getting the Beavers back to the NCAA tournament. It was the first time Oregon State was in the Big Dance since 1990, and the Beavers win the opening tip wearing the orange at home tonight. And Corey, let me ask you, what is Oregon State, what can they do to pull off the upset tonight?
Question of tempo. They need to make sure this game is played at a slow pace, not making any turnovers, because Arizona's offense is explosive.
Stevie Thompson rattles out a three. He went for a career-high 30 in a loss in Salt Lake City to Utah last Saturday afternoon. That was a wild game in Salt Lake City as Oregon State trailed by 28 points in the second half, and the Beavers trimmed it all the way down to 7 before Utah finally put it away.
Showed a lot of heart in that game, despite the injuries. Never say die, never give up.
Dusan Ristic inside. And a 7-footer from Serbia with the game's first points. Arizona won by 11 against Washington last Sunday at McHale in Tucson. Corey is backdoor for Stevie Thompson who missed the layup and Markkanen in the rebound. But judging by Sean Miller's actions after the game, you wouldn't have known that Arizona won by 11. Markkanen off on the three, but Dusan Ristic trying to clean it up. Loose ball chased down by Rawle Alkins, the freshman.
Well, one of the reasons that Sean Miller has earned and received that extension is he's a coach that believes in playing to your potential regardless of who's out there on the court. He demands that excellence from all of his players, and even though they got the W, he obviously saw some things he didn't like, and that's what a great coach does. Push your players even in situations where they're getting wins.
Rawle Alkins with a bucket, and Sean Miller stressing was all about focus and preparation that he felt was lacking last week from his team, and trying to rekindle that heading into this road trip here through the state of Oregon. Again, the Ducks on Saturday in Eugene is Grigorije Rakorcevic called for a travel inside.
Talk about being focused. Talent means absolutely nothing if you're not focused. And for those that don't believe me, just hang around and watch the NCAA tournament as a lot of talented teams get bounced early because they're not locked in.
Arizona 20-2 overall. Kobe Simmons makes it 6 Zip Cats.
Right now, the Beavers offense struggling. A missed open three, a missed layup, and then a turnover. Had opportunities to score. They're doing well with execution, just haven't gotten shots to fall.
Last couple of games, the offense has been pretty good for Oregon State, a team that has struggled a majority of the season scoring the basketballs. Corey McLaughlin drops it off to Drew Eubanks underneath. A nice move underneath the basket from the big man to get Oregon State on the board.
And he's a very talented, underrated big man. Great hands around the rim, got the size, Just a matter of getting them the ball in scoring position.
Last 2 games coming in, Oregon State averaged 78 points per game on 52% from the field, even though they were both losses at Utah and at Colorado as Lauri Markkanen in the miss. But the first 7 Pac-12 games, Oregon State scoring less than 57 points per game.
Well, I think they finally realized that's all they have. They're decimated with injuries. The guys that are on the court know they're going to stay, so you might as well try to turn up the offense and score a little bit.
The roll for Drew Eubanks was all 4 for the Beavers. Riley Alkins wide open, missing a 3, and Rakorcevic the rebound for Oregon State.
Arizona having some success penetrating and dropping off passes against the zone, and you also want to try to knock down wide open shots like that. Doesn't get any better than that for Alkins.
Oregon State has not won since late December against Kent State, their final non-conference game. And a whistle away from the ball. Offensive foul inside on Grigoriy Rakorcevic, trying to post up on Lauri Markkanen, his first foul.
Right now, that ball screen is so important for the Beavers as they hold on to it, let the big man roll, and hit him on the money for the easy layup.
Alonzo Trier in the game for Arizona. Kobe Simmons getting a breather is Trier, a 6'5" sophomore from Seattle. Kadeem Allen leans in, and the rebound tipped out of bounds. Dick Cartmell points the other way. It belongs to Oregon State. Beavers hanging in there early. Cats up 2 on the road in Corvallis.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
Arizona up 6-4 in Corvallis against Oregon State. It's been a tough season for Wayne Tinkle, dealing with all the injuries that they have had to deal with. In fact, Oregon State has lost already coming into tonight 48 man games this season with injury. His best player, probably his son, Trace Tinkle, has missed the last 16 games. In all likelihood, he's probably done for the year. Oregon State is not saying that, but he had a hard cast put back on his right arm this week after that hard cast was taken off in early January, and it just isn't healing as fast as they'd like with a broken bone in his right wrist. There is Trace Tinkle, but it's not just Trace. You look at Shea Njai, who has been out the last 13 games now. They missed Stevie Thompson for 6 games back in November. Ben Kone missed the first 9 games of the year. And also, Malcolm DeVivier, who was a 3-year starter for Oregon State, and the junior not available this year for Oregon State. They're hoping he could possibly come back next year, as Chance Comanche called for the foul, the sophomore from Beverly Hills for Arizona. But it's just an ongoing issue for Wayne Tinkle of how many guys does he have.
And it's remarkable the amount of effort and the way that the Beavers are in most games. And it's virtually impossible to run a basketball program with that many injuries all happening at the same time. But the Beavs come out every night. They're still looking for their first conference win, but they play hard.
Ahead for Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen fouled by Drew Eubanks. And Markkanen will head to the line. First on Eubanks, 6'10" sophomore, who is also an all-state baseball player in the state of Oregon. He's a pitcher that topped out about 90, 91 miles per hour. Lauri Markkanen, who is the master of the trick shot, 84% from the line. His first point of the night. Speaking of those trick shots for Lauri Markkanen. How about that one? Look at the spin.
That's pretty impressive. Now, we live in the age of CGI, so I don't know, but there he is from the cheap seats in McHale. Tremendous talent.
Markkanen hits both. 4-point lead for Arizona after they scored the first 6 points of the game. Kendall Manuel. Perimeter here, Stevie Thompson Jr. Parker Jackson Cartwright in the game for Arizona as Manuel fires from the corner. Rattles out a three, and Markkanen gets the rebound to Alonzo Trier.
That ball did everything except go down as another nearly missed three. Beavers getting good looks early.
Lauri Markkanen from deep. Kobe Simmons, the pull-up. Way short, pulled down by Thompson. Manuel looks to attack. Underneath to Drew Eubanks.
That's what we're talking about. They've got very underrated big men. Good transition offense by the Beavers, getting it inside.
Eubanks has all 6 for Oregon State. Parker Jackson Cartwright knocks down a three. He was scoreless in the last 2 games.
Good inside out right there. The crowd wanted to travel, but Markkanen with a great vision.
Just the 8th three-pointer on the season for Jackson Cartwright, who had his season interrupted with a high ankle sprain that caused him to miss 6 games back in December. He's come off the bench in each of the last 10. After starting early for Arizona. Drew Eubanks spins out, the rebound to Trier, and here come the Cats. Again, it's Jackson Cartwright, and he's 2 for 2 from downtown.
It all starts with the penetration of Trier. Got into the lane, really didn't have anything to do, but Arizona is really in great rhythm at this point in the season in terms of getting the ball to the open man no matter who it is.
Grigorier Rakorcevic from deep. And the rebound, Kobe Simmons, and Arizona looks to push. Trier the step back. And Stevie Thompson Jr. the rebound.
What the hell are you watching? You suck!
14-6 Arizona. Rakorcevic underneath and a putback. And 1 for Grigorier Rakorcevic.
A little bit of weight room right there on the offensive glass. Situations like this, that ball goes up to the rim. Big men rotate for the block, but no one boxes out. Parker Jackson Cartwright not big enough to harm anybody on a putback like that.
Foul was called on Markkanen in his first. Rakorcevic, a 50% foul shooter. Sophomore from Montenegro. Gets a 3-point play. So all 9 for Oregon State have come from their inside players, Eubanks and Rakorcevic. As McLaughlin and Thompson, the leading scorers outside of Eubanks, have yet to get going. Deep 3 from Alonzo Trier. And Thompson looks to push it for Oregon State. Big G going to work as Rakorcevic the last 5 for the Beavers.
You know me, Rox, I love my big man, and that's great fundamentals. Set the pick, roll, take your time, and the baby sweet hook. He's got it going early.
3-point game. Ben Kone in for Oregon State, a freshman from San Jose. Also checking in is Tanner Sanders, a sophomore from right here in Corvallis for the Beavers. And a travel on Kobe Simmons. Oregon State hanging tough on their home floor against Kobe Simmons and number 5 Arizona. Oregon State, they're pumped, looking for an upset. 3-point lead for number 5 Arizona on the road in Corvallis at Gill Coliseum against Oregon State, as the Cats have won 14 straight, while Oregon State looking for their first conference victory along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams. Roxy Bernstein with you. And this Arizona team, Corey, they just seem to get better and better as the season goes on. What makes them so efficient?
Well, it makes a big difference with them sharing the ball, understanding the system. They're so talented, they realize that the wide open guy is the best option. It's hard to get a team of talented guys to share the ball and play relaxed, but that's what Sean Miller's been able to do.
This Arizona team, let's check them out by the numbers here. And for Arizona, 14 straight they've won. They've not lost since early December. That was to Gonzaga, who's the only unbeaten team in college basketball. And the three-point shooting has been coming along for Arizona. They're up to number 5 right now in the rankings. And trying to go to 10-0 with a win here tonight. And Arizona's the 3rd longest active winning streak in college basketball. Also the 5th longest winning streak in Arizona history. Although this is a place that hasn't been too kind to Arizona in recent years. They lost their last visit here. They were not here last year. But 2 years ago they lost a 2-point game. And no player on this Arizona roster has won a game in this building.
And the majority of them have not played in this gym, which is also very impressive when you look at how competitive the Pac-12 is and you realize a team is undefeated in conference play led by mostly freshmen. That's very impressive. It's hard to do because there's a learning curve in terms of defense and offensive ability, but Arizona has somehow figured it out.
Foul on Alonzo Trier. Stevie Thompson will head to the line. It's on Dusan Ristic. Saturday we have an ACC, SEC college hoops double dip for you on ESPN. Number 20 Notre Dame and number 12 North Carolina tip at 6 from the Dean Dome. Then number 8 Kentucky and number 24 Florida in our Saturday primetime game presented by AT&T. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. How about those Florida Gators tonight?
If you're going to win, leave no doubt. Take care of it early.
There was no doubt in that game against Missouri.
And you know, you want to be playing your best basketball when you come around to February, right before March Madness. Coaches want to see that rhythm, that aggressiveness. And like I said, if you got a chance to put a team away early, go ahead and do it. Get your starters out and rest your guys.
1 out of 2 for Stevie Thompson, who surprisingly is not a good foul shooter, just 59%.
Which is a mystery because he is a flat-out scorer. I'm talking three-pointers, acrobatic moves in the lane. He can put the ball in the basket.
And a foul against Oregon State, and it's on Tanner Sanders, this Corvallis native.
So far, the Oregon State strategy, staying in the zone, being pesky, being aggressive, trying to minimize Arizona's one-on-one ability, trying to play collective defense as a team. Seems to be working out pretty well in the opening minutes.
Do you like what Oregon State is doing here?
Absolutely. It's what they have to do. They have to be big, they have to contain, and they have to limit the Wildcats to one shot. That's the key with Arizona and their size. When they shoot, if they miss, and you see another turnover there against the zone.
Stevie Thompson ties the game. 8 straight for the Beavers.
And that's just a mental mistake right there by the Arizona Wildcats, being a little lackadaisical out front with the ball. Riley Alkins getting back on D, but too little, too late.
Alonzo Trier knocks down a 3.
That's a big 3 right there. The crowd starting to get into the game. Momentum you felt had kind of moved, but Trier with the big answer.
First points for Trier. He came off the bench for Sean Miller about 2 minutes in. Third 3 for Arizona.
Roxy, we know Trier is no bench player by any means, but a completely unselfish player who sacrificed and just wants to be a part of the win.
Eubanks traveled. Oregon State a turnover.
When you're playing out front against that zone, you got to be sure, make good passes. Thompson gets in the lane, and then it's off to the races with the finger roll. But at the other end, a deep 3 that I don't think anybody thought he was going to pull the trigger on. Alonzo Trier answers.
Already 4 turnovers for Oregon State, and that's been a problem for the Beavers this year. They have the worst turnover margin in the Pac-12. They turn it over nearly 16 times per game. That's one thing they did very well last year en route to the NCAA tournament. Kadeem Allen missing from deep. Broken up by Lauri Markkanen. Taken right back by Kendall Manuel. Thompson. And the rebound, Chance Comanche and the Wildcats. Step back from Trier.
That's playground right there. There's nothing you can do on that. Lonzo Trier, great athlete, just took it upon himself to make a great one-on-one move.
5 straight for Arizona, 5 straight for Trier since Oregon State tied the game. An offensive foul. It's on Drew Eubanks, his second with 8:04 left in the half.
You know what Alonzo Trier brings to the table for Arizona? He can put the ball on the floor, but even in situations like that, create a little space and knock down the jumper. No assist needed. Alonzo says, I got this, fellas.
So Eubanks has to sit with the 2 fouls.
And that's a huge second foul because he was doing some pretty nice things for them in the post, but to pick up fouls offensively trying to post up, that's that new rule that the officials have been enforcing the last couple of seasons. Guys trying to root each other out under the block.
Rattled out from Chance Comanche. Corey McLaughlin fouled by Rawle Alkins. 5-point lead for Arizona. Wayne Tinkle's Oregon State Beavers, giving Arizona some fits early. Arizona up 5 on Oregon State, and the Beavers have won 3 of the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams here in Corvallis. And Oregon State has 6 upset wins of a ranked Arizona team in school history, and all 6 have come here, including 2 years ago when Arizona was number 7.
Well, as a player coming up here, you always knew you were going to get a great shot from this Oregon Beavers team. I remember some close games in our days several years ago playing up here, but it's just one of those things. I don't know if you want to call it a jinx or a curse, but you know it's going to be a tight game when the Wildcats come up here to play the Beavers.
It's not easy going on the road, coming here, really going anywhere in the Pac-12. It's very difficult to win on the road.
Pac-12 road wins are so hard to come by. And if you look at the top part of the league, that's what separates them. The ability to go on the road and win.
Grigoriy Rakorcevic, +1. He has 7 already.
Right now, there is a strength differential in the paint for the Beavers. They continue to take advantage of the bigger, muscular postmen they have. Nice little jump hook, spin move, and that's what's keeping the Beavers in it.
Second foul on Comanche. Rakorcevic now 2 of 2 at the line.
And Roxy, on the flip side, you get to let your big men play one-on-one offensively, and then you get to hide them defensively inside the zone. It's a great strategy and working out right now for Wayne Tinkle and the Beavers.
Rakorcevic averages just 3 points per game. He already has 8.
He'll get more as long as they continue to get him the ball deep.
Lauri Markkanen missing. And has his shot blocked out of bounds by Ronnie Stacy.
The second or third shot Arizona's missed close in. You know it's just a matter of time before they begin to fall. But right now, the Beavers gaining confidence with each defensive stop.
And the closer that they're with Arizona, the longer this goes on, Corey, the more confidence they're going to have.
It always works that way. You got the home team trying to hang around, gain some momentum, and make a few plays.
Rattles out from Rawle Alkins, and Kendall Manuel skies for the rebound.
And these are good looks that Arizona's getting offensively. You don't want to shy away from them, but every stop allows Oregon State to set their offense and try to hang around.
Shot clock at 5. Kendall Manuel from the corner. And Chance Comanche clears. Arizona on the attack. Alkins to the basket. And 1 as he got knocked to the deck by Ben Kone, and a strong finish for the freshman from Brooklyn, Rawle Alkins.
And Riley Alkins had the three-pointer if he wanted it, but he just missed one, so he decided to go to the rack, and man, is he built. Goes up, takes the hit, and still gets it to the glass. One of Sean Miller's favorite guys because he's so tough.
Unanimous five-star recruit. Misses the free throw. Dusan Ristic back in the game for Arizona. Out of bounds off the foot of Kone, and an Oregon State turnover. And turnovers, that's now 7 for the Beavers, an ongoing issue.
They have a lot of guys in the motion offense. That means everybody touches the ball, so everyone's a ball handler. A lot of coaches love the motion offense, but turnovers come with that. You got guys that are 3s and 4s and 5s out there trying to dribble and pass, and that's what brings you the turnovers.
Dusan Ristic throws it away. Manuel. Three. First three for Oregon State. It's a one-point game.
That's the formula. You get the turnover, and in transition, the percentages go up. A quick bucket right there for the Beavers.
And a foul as Ja'Cory McLaughlin was airborne. Bit on the pump fake from Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Arizona failing to execute against the zone, a drop pass to nobody as the Beavers run with it. In situations like this, it's just about the first look is the best look, and they're at home and they knock down the triple and get this crowd right back into the game.
6th team foul. And Markkanen throws it away. And the crowd responding to the effort from Oregon State on their home floor.
You're starting to see the strategy of Oregon State, which is to just stay and contain. But that right there, they put the trap on Markkanen. He wasn't expecting it, but Arizona is not aggressive against the zone. Sean Miller stressed that this morning in shoot-around. He wanted his guys to react and play with instinct. Right now, they're overthinking the zone and making some silly mistakes.
Oregon State looking for their first lead. And Thompson gives it to him.
And that's why free throw percentage doesn't matter for that young man. He can flat out score. That was not a good look, but he knocks it down anyway.
Poked away from Parker Jackson Cartwright as Matt Dolan came up with a loose ball. And Jackson Cartwright behind a nasty screen from Rakorcevic. Ja'Cory McLaughlin from way out there. Rakorcevic hit the side of the backboard and a foul called, and Arizona will head to the line. Dusan Ristic to shoot.
When the guy's not in scoring position, you're supposed to go under the three, but when it's Thompson, you got to get up there. And over here, you just got to call the screen. You cannot let your teammate get nailed like that. If I was Parker Jackson Cartwright, I'd have a few words for my guys in the timeout. That's rule number 1. Call the screens.
Ristic is 76% foul shooter. And one more coming for the junior. Get the bonus double figures in 14 of the last 16 games for Dusan Ristic after just 2 of the first 6. The intense look from Sean Miller as Wildcats struggling here with Oregon State. And Ristic evens the game.
Well, one of the things a good zone does is it affects your rhythm. Guys catch the ball and they think. Normally in a motion offense, man-to-man, you catch the ball, you put it on the floor, you make a pass. But when you catch it and think, everything slows down. You times that by 4 or 5 guys doing it. Next thing you know, 4 seconds is left and you end up with a poor shot.
Kendall Manuel attacks. Lost the ball. And Arizona takes it away.
Great one-on-one defense there by Kobe Simmons.
And a foul on Manuel, and Kobe Simmons will head to the line for Arizona. Tie ball game, 3:43 to go, first half in Corvallis. Sean Miller's team winners of 14 straight. Knotted up with Oregon State.
They've got BYU coming up, maybe an upset to Corvallis. Roxy, Corey, back to you guys.
All right, Adnan, as Arizona struggling with Oregon State. We're tied at 23, 3:43 left in the half, and there's some of the numbers. As Oregon State shooting at 47% from the field against one of the best defensive teams in college basketball.
Well, right now they've been getting great productivity from their bigs, knocked down a couple of huge threes. They're playing in rhythm. If they could just cut down on the turnovers, they might actually have a lead.
And a slow start for Lauri Markkanen. His points coming from the foul line. He is 0 of 5 from the field. 6 from Parker Jackson Cartwright to lead Arizona, who's hit a couple of threes. Grigoriy Rakorcevic, 8 points to lead Oregon State as Kobe Simmons helps Arizona reclaim the lead as one more shot. Two-point lead for the Wildcats. They've led by as many as 8 here in the first half. Low-scoring half, and that's what you said, Corey, Oregon State needed to do.
They need to keep this game somewhere around 50, 60 points. They're comfortable at this pace, but for Arizona, they're an explosive offense. They want to get up to 70, 80 points if possible.
Kadeem Allen. Arizona ball. Two-point lead for the Wildcats. Here's Alonzo Trier. Ristic can't handle the pass, went right through his hands.
You see the Wildcats just out of sync. Everyone a step too slow. The hesitation is what's allowed that Beaver zone to be effective.
Stevie Thompson, who's had a career high in scoring in each of the last 2 games. 26 against Colorado last Thursday, 30 at Utah last Saturday, and now with 8.
With the ball in his hand, he is a handful down the lane for the finger roll, using the ball screen perfectly.
Dusan Ristic. The hook rattles out. It was all the way down and popped out.
Tough night so far for Arizona offensively. Guys that were penetrating to start the game are now hesitating a little bit, passing up open looks, and right there, you can't ask for a better look than that. Cats
shooting just 35%. Thompson. McLaughlin double clutches. And Oregon State seesaws in front.
That's just a one-on-one play right there where Trier got beat to the rim. No help, but a heck of a play by McLaughlin.
First points for the freshman from Gig Harbor, Washington, Ja'Cory McLaughlin. Ristic popped out, but Arizona tracks it down. And a timeout taken by Arizona. And this crowd at Gill Coliseum enjoying this. Oregon State up 2 at number 5, Arizona. Our next NBA Friday doubleheader starts an old school rivalry. The Celtics hosting the Lakers at 8 Eastern. Then we send you right up the road to Portland, the Mavs and the Blazers. Our coverage ships at NBA Countdown. Charged by Dew at 7. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. 27-25, Oregon State with the lead.
2 big stories right now. Eubanks on the bench for the Beavers with 2 fouls, and they've maintained and been able to take the lead. And Lauri Markkanen just invisible right now as Trier penetrates the zone, gets a nice little reverse layup.
Pretty play by Alonzo Trier along the baseline. And he leads Arizona with 7. And we're tied, 1 minute to go, first half. You surprised?
Not exactly. You know, adrenaline's going to keep guys around for a few minutes, but impressed by the discipline from the Beavers. They've had turnovers, but they've made good one-on-one plays when it mattered.
Thompson, the leaner.
Just what I got through saying. Shot clock winding down. They find a way to get 2 points and then drop back and play 20, 30 seconds worth of defense at the other end.
7-second differential between the shot clock and the half clock. Just about everybody standing at Gill Coliseum. Kobe Simmons, the floater. Ja'Cory McLaughlin looks to push it. And there's a whistle. And Oregon State took a timeout as it looked like Oregon State had a possible run out.
They certainly did, but Wayne Tinkle went ahead and had his player signal for the timeout. He wants to draw something up for this final possession. Not surprised. I mean, Roxy, we've done Pac-12 games, and you know road wins are hard to come by. Just more impressed by this Oregon State team right now.
Pac-12 after dark, Corey.
You always know it's going to be a show. But right now, the Beavers have sucked it up. They're missing Eubanks, but they're making plays as the shot clock winds down. It's a long game. We'll see if that can continue.
Stevie Thompson Jr. with 10, Grigoriy Rakocevic with 8. They combined for 18 of Oregon State's 29.
I don't think anybody's concerned with the offense in terms of, having 29 points as a team. That's not bad for a half. But for Arizona, 27 points in the first half, with the weapons that they have, they certainly want to step it up in the second half.
Oregon State has 2 walk-ons on the floor right now. Here comes Thompson. Throws up a wild shot that takes us to the end of the first half. And it's a 2-point lead for Wayne Tinkle and Oregon State in Corvallis. As Arizona struggling for the first 20 minutes. Shooting just 35% from the floor. Stevie Thompson Jr. leading the way with 10 for Oregon State. The Beavers lead it by 2. Now let's go to the studio to Adnan, Kara, and Jeff. Surprising score in Corvallis as we're getting ready to start the second half at Gill Coliseum as Oregon State leads number 5 Arizona 29-27 as we're getting ready to start half number 2 in Corvallis, Oregon, along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein with you. And for Oregon State, they finished the first half strong. They shot the ball well. For Arizona, what do they need to do here in the second half?
You got to pick up their intensity, figure out that 2-3 zone, and get things going.
Well, for Arizona, they have to find a way to stop Stevie Thompson Jr. as he was sensational for Oregon State late in the first half.
Well, make no doubt about it. With the ball in his hand, he's worked wonders, knocking down big shots, being a facilitator. He's given them emotional plays right when they needed him to maintain the momentum, and he's really been getting it done for them.
7 turnovers by Arizona, helping Oregon State to 11 points off turnover.
The Beavers making sure that the talent differential does not matter. They play collective defense in that zone. They've negated Lauri Markkanen. They've made the Wildcats have unforced errors, and that's what kept this game in the 20s and kept them around.
First time that Oregon State has led at the half in a conference game as they're 0-9 in Pac-12 play, and they shot 50% from the field in the first half, and that's something that Sean Miller's team prides themselves on, is on the defensive end.
On the defensive end, you can look at it glass half full. They've only got 29 points, but you're right. 50% from the floor is way too much for a Sean Miller club.
Arizona has the 3rd longest active winning streak in college basketball at 14 straight. Gonzaga unbeaten at 22-0. There's a clock issue as we start the second half, and New Mexico State has won 19 straight. Arizona led by 7 off the bench from Alonzo Trier in the first half, while Stevie Thompson, 10 points to lead all scorers for Oregon State.
For Arizona, you got to come out of half with a set play against this zone, a lob, a dunk, a wide open 3, something to reestablish momentum.
Open 3 from Raleigh Alkins, and Kendall Manuel the rebound. Arizona 9-0 in Pac-12 play. Oregon State is 0-9. Yet it's the Beavers by 2. Arizona led by as many as 8 in the first half. Here is Thompson. Drew Eubanks, who sat for a lot of the first half with 2 fouls. And they go inside with Eubanks. And it's the largest lead of the night for the Beavers.
So right back to Eubanks and that baby hook. Arizona going to play straight up in the post. If he can continue to knock that down, it may be a problem.
Kadeem Allen to the basket and 1.
And Roxy, that's the solution for Arizona, the athleticism. Don't pass around the zone. Put the ball on the deck and just be better than the guy in front of you. Right here, Kadeem Allen just turns the corner and makes a play. Gets to and 1.
That was on Grigoriy Rakorcevic, his second. First bucket of the night for Kadeem Allen, his first points. 74% foul shooter. And he pulls Arizona within 1. Oregon State has beaten Arizona 3 of the last 5 matchups in Corvallis. Drew Eubanks. Well defended by Dusan Ristic.
Great defense. Not to commit the foul. Eubanks was kind of in no man's land and threw up a shot that really wasn't a good look.
Here's Ristic. Has a hook shot of his own, and Arizona reclaims the lead.
Ristic is the key right now. Eubanks does not want to pick up his third, so Ristic can make a lot of impact by just being aggressive and trying to score.
And Drew Eubanks can't connect with Rakorcevic in a turnover by Oregon State.
Right here, you see the one-on-one from the high post. Ristic has all the time in the world, makes a couple of moves and gets right to the sweet spot. Little baby hook of his own, little payback.
Riley Alkins missing along the baseline after an impressive move to the hoop. Here comes Oregon State. Kendall Manuel spots up. 3. Alonzo Trier in and out. Riley Alkins on the offensive glass. And a putback inside.
It's a big bucket right there. Alkins staying active on the glass. Back-to-back stops for the Beavers would have really got this crowd more into the game than they've been, but Alkins making a momentum-saving play right there.
Manuel on the drive. Trying a wild reverse, and it's Ristic the rebound. Alonzo Trier attacks. And 1, Alonzo Trier. And that was a strong take, Alonzo.
That is impressive. In the open court, you wonder why Arizona wants to get out and run, because they finish just as good as anyone in the country. Trier goes up for the dunk, takes all that contact, still gets the and 1. That is next level right there, folks. Alonzo Trier. Talked about bringing that added energy in the second half. Arizona off to a good start.
As you know the story by now, most likely. Missed the first 19 games of the year. And Trier playing in just his 4th contest.
They've done a good job of working with him, getting him back into the lineup, but letting him come along at the right pace. Sometimes talented players want to interject themselves back into the system and force things, but he's been easygoing, kind of letting things happen.
Grigoriy Rakorcevic missing a 3, and there's Kadeem Allen securing the rebound. Ristic flips it up and in. 8 for Dusan Ristic.
Right now, the Wildcats finding some rhythm offensively, getting it inside for a couple of touches. Big plays by Rawlings, Trier, and then Ristich with the bucket.
Shot clock at 10. Stevie Thompson Jr. falling away. He was screaming for a foul, and he's still barking at Mike Seifert.
I'm surprised he didn't get that whistle. There was contact, but play goes on as the Beavers drop back into that zone.
Lauri Markkanen from deep. And Arizona's matched their largest lead with 10 straight points.
We were wondering when Lauri Markkanen was going to show up, and right there, just a pick and pop three as the Wildcats seem to find their offense. Arizona coming out, two different teams in the second half, getting buckets, and the Cats have the lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Papa John's Ultimate Meats Pizza. Large or pan crust, just $11.
Arizona's made 6 of their 9 shots to start the second half. They've scored 10 straight, and they've matched their largest lead of the night. They're up 8 on Oregon State. As Arizona trailed by 2 at the half, what have you noticed, Corey, with Arizona here in the second half?
Aggressiveness on offense, not just settling to pass the ball around the perimeter. They've had guys attack the rim. Ristich in the paint, Rawlings on putbacks, Trier in the lane. These guys have gone after it and stepped up the intensity. Don't settle for jump shots against the zone. Be aggressive.
Drew Eubanks, the kick out, and a foul called on Kadeem Allen of Arizona. First foul against the senior. Timeout on the floor, Arizona. They've won 14 straight, and they're up 8 on the road in Corvallis. Well, Arizona's made 6 out of 9 field goals, Corey, to start the second half.
They've created their own offense. They haven't just settled for passing. They put the ball down, gotten into the lane, no threes, everything to the rim. Much more aggressive for the Wildcats in the second half, and that's been the difference. Taking the ball to the rim, and it's been paying big dividends for them.
Lauri Markkanen getting involved for Arizona as the Wildcats, who struggled shooting the ball in the first half. And look at the points per possession here in the second half as opposed to the first. Drew Eubanks misses everything. Chance Comanche changed the shot. Alonzo Trier, and he's fouled by Eubanks. Third on Drew Eubanks. Saturday we have an ACC-SEC college hoops double dip for you on ESPN. Number 20 Notre Dame and number 12 North Carolina tip at 6 from the Dean Dome. Then we're off to Saturday primetime. Number 8 Kentucky and number 24 Florida. Saturday primetime game presented by AT&T. Both games also streaming live on ESPN app and watch ESPN. Alonzo Trier misses the first.
Looks to be a great matchup this Saturday, the way Florida just kind of put in work today. Kentucky better bring their A game for sure.
Also a huge showdown on Saturday just down the road, about 45 minutes from here at Matthew Knight Arena, as Arizona will take on Oregon Saturday afternoon on ESPN.
That is going to be a key matchup between two of the top schools in the conference that match up very well. Oregon obviously with the big win at the buzzer against UCLA. They'll be looking to try to pull off some more magic against the Cats.
And that is the only meeting between Oregon and Arizona during the regular season. There's a quirk in the schedule, and Stevie Thompson flipped it up and missed. Parker Jackson Cartwright leads the break. Lauri Markkanen fouled on a 3 by Thompson.
And Roxy, you're starting to see the athleticism of Arizona begin to take over this game. On one end, great one-on-one defense by Kadeem Allen, forcing a wild shot. And on the other end, just Arizona in transition, Alonzo Trier getting to the lane, trying to create something. No more playing against the zone. Arizona's out and running now.
Lauri Markkanen 2 of 2 at the line, just 5 points for the 7-footer. Still 2 more shots coming. Fouled on a 3, and maybe a frustration foul from Stevie Thompson Jr. Now a double-digit lead for Arizona, their largest of the night. Markkanen goes 3 for 3. Trier leads Arizona with 11, 8 each from Ristic and Markkanen. While Thompson has 10 to lead Oregon State, he has not scored here in the second half. 14 straight for Arizona. Oregon State has gone about 3.5 minutes without a field goal. And a foul on Lauri Markkanen will send Matt Dolan to the line. First on Markkanen. So Matt Dolan, the junior from Redmond, the walk-on, who made this Oregon State team with open tryouts back in the fall of 2014. Stat Chris, a football player at Oregon State. Dolan just 7 of 16 from the line on the year. In true walk-on fashion, he leads the team in charges taken with 11.
Get in there and sacrifice your body.
And he missed both.
Actually, the Beavers are going to have to try to get back to that formula of defensive stops, and they're going to try to manufacture some offense in the second half as they've been very cold, but Arizona seemed to have picked it up.
Missed from Trier, but the rebound tipped out to Alonzo Trier. Here's Kobe Simmons. Parker Jackson Cartwright the miss. Grigoriy Rakorčević the rebound. Kendall Manuel from deep. And Matt Dolan the offensive rebound. Thompson airballs the 3. It's been 5 minutes now that Oregon State has gone without a field goal. Stays with the Wildcats.
And right now the Beavers are trying to do a little too much in the one-on-one. They had success in the first half, moving the ball, getting it inside. Right now, every player that touches the ball puts it on the floor, kind of kills the offense. And Arizona's really settled in defensively. They're not committing fouls. They're limiting them to 1 shot every trip.
They picked up their intensity on that end?
Yeah, they have. And, you know, I think obviously you know what the conversation was at halftime, but just the way that they're out defending beyond the 3-point arc, something they weren't doing in the first half.
Quiet night for Ja'Cory McLaughlin, the talented freshman. Missed the layup. Thompson has it knocked away. Stevie Thompson takes it back. Gets his first points of the second half. Kobe Simmons wide open. 3 for Simmons.
Lauri Markkanen at 7 feet tall can see over everyone, and he found Simmons in the corner. And that's that same 3 that Arizona missed early in the game, and now they get it to drop.
Largest lead for the Wildcats. And a reach-in foul against Arizona. Arizona's opened up their largest lead of the night.
And for the Arizona Wildcats, there's nothing like ball movement when against the zone. And right now, the Cats are spreading it around and knocking it down.
We gon' blow your mind.
Lead for number 5 Arizona, trying to extend their winning streak to 15 here against Oregon State. And some news and notes from around the country. And coming up next from Provo, Utah, Gonzaga tries to remain unbeaten as they're visiting BYU. A tough test for the Zags tonight in Provo.
There are no easy wins in Provo, but you are what your record says you are. And right now, they're the best team in the nation. And looking at Kansas, they made some noise. A couple of very big wins this week. And of course, the legend returns to the sidelines at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Duke Blue Devil fans happy to see Coach K scheduled to return this weekend. They are a completely different team, obviously, with him at the helm.
Corey McLaughlin moves in. Falls short. Dusan Ristic the rebound. Chance Comanche the miss from the baseline. Here's Thompson. Rakorcevic thought about it, then shot it. Alonzo Trier, what a play.
And there's no way you can defend that. That's Trier in traffic, taking a bad shot off the wrong foot, going away from the basket. He still gets it to go. But right now, the offensive troubles for the Beavers is the main issue right now. They're the team that's a little bit more hesitant this half, as you see the turnover right there.
Kadeem Allen lost his footing. Had it taken back by Ben Kone, who then throws it away. And a panic move by the Oregon State freshman. And a timeout taken to wipe up the wet spot on the floor as Mike Cyphers, our official, working with Dick Cartmel and John Higgins here tonight at Gill Coliseum. A 15-point lead, and here's that move by Alonzo Trier, the unorthodox shot, but it went.
Yeah, in the first half, you probably back that out and look for a good shot. But in the second half, the way Arizona's been pressing offensively, get out in transition, take it right to the rim.
And there's the shooting by half. And after a hot first half for Oregon State, just 21% since the break.
You were wondering if Oregon State could keep pace with Arizona. Arizona's so talented offensively. You kind of felt like it was a matter of time until certain players started to show up. But for the Beavers, do they have an answer? And right now in the second half, they have it.
Patience by the Wildcats. Alonzo Trier spots up. Raleigh Alkins on the offensive glass. The last 8 minutes, Arizona's on a 19-2 run as they've opened up a 17-point lead on Oregon State.
To say it was a wake-up call at halftime would be an understatement. Arizona looking nothing like they did in the first half, and plays like this are exactly what it's about. The shot goes up. Alkins' offensive rebound and putback, his second of the night. Arizona more hungry in this second half, and that's been the reason they've been able to pull away from Oregon State.
And Oregon State led it by 2 at the break. They've scored just 7 points here in the second half. As number 5 Arizona, I don't want to say they sleptwalked through the first half, but it just, you're right, Corey, their intensity has clearly picked up since halftime.
Right, and they came out and they saw the zone and they thought too much and they passed and ended up taking a lot of tough shots as the shot clock was winding down. And in the second half, it's kind of like they just freed themselves mentally and said, you know what, we're just going to play normal basketball and be aggressive. They haven't really looked to work against the zone. They've looked to beat it off the dribble.
And how much of it is it when you look at, you got Oregon State, they're 4-18, 0-9 in league play.
Yeah, you've got to look at it. They are, kind of who their record says they are. They've got a lot of injuries. They're definitely undermanned. And a 40-minute game against a top team like Arizona, they're going to have to play almost perfect basketball. As you see, another turnover right there. The second half has been anything but perfect for the Beavers.
Kadeem Allen missing a three. And the rebound lost out of bounds by Oregon State as both Ben Kone and Tanner Sanders were there. Kind of just summed up the second half right there for the Beavers. Wayne Tinkle. His team went back to the NCAA tournament last year. It's been a struggle for them this year with injuries and limited numbers as far as players.
And I think at full strength, the Oregon State Beavers will be a team not only being competitive in conference, but repeat appearances in the tournament at the end of the year, as Wayne Tinkle does a great job with his programs of making them competitive and getting into that NCAA tournament.
Follow from Dusan Ristic. Oregon State led by 4 early here in the second half, but since it's been all Wildcats. Eubanks fumbled it out of bounds off of Market, and it stays with the Beavers. 7:56 remaining. The Beavs may have run out of gas here in the second half at the hands of Lauri Markkanen and the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona outscoring Oregon State 28-7 since halftime. It's been a tale of 2 halves at Gill Coliseum in Corvallis. And Alonzo Trier, who leads Arizona with 13 points tonight.
Well, you see what he brings to the table. Athletic, he's got size, he can shoot it from the outside. They are loving the fact that he's back on the court for the Wildcats. And there you see just individual one-on-one effort, making things happen. This is the kind of play that wasn't taking place in the first half. Arizona got going, and he was a huge reason.
So Alonzo Trier, who missed the first 19 games, ineligible to play, is now playing in his 4th contest for the Wildcats. And he made a decision to return. He could have been a first-round pick in the NBA draft after last season as Stevie Thompson Jr. with a bucket for Oregon State. But he wanted to become a more well-rounded player, and we've seen his game develop here in his 2nd season.
That's so huge for a lot of college guys that have that opportunity to go to the next level. The more skills that you have when you enter the NBA, the longer your career will be. It's night and day with guys that go in. Sometimes they don't develop the skills right away and they don't become players, but sticking around never hurts.
Stevie Thompson missing as Tanner Sanders pulls it out. And taken right back by Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Could be showtime.
Kobe Simmons!
I saw that sizing up from the turnover. Kobe Simmons running the lane like a wideout in the NFL. And Parker Jackson saw him and looked him off as if he wasn't going to throw it, but that is what Arizona basketball is about. The athleticism, the defensive pressure, and out in the open court, they're as good as anybody. As there's almost another turnover.
This has got to be a SportsCenter top 10.
Oh, no question about it. Here you see the rip, open court, lets it go from 20, and Kobe Simmons with the one-handed finish. These are the type of big plays you want to avoid when playing Arizona because they really are on a roll.
Look how high he got.
Kobe Simmons, pure athleticism. He's developed. You've seen his game change so much since the beginning of the season to now. He knows good shots from bad shots. He knows when to penetrate. He's a great finisher offensively.
And one for Drew Eubanks, 4th foul on Chance Comanche.
That is amazing. Kobe Simmons gets up for the throwdown. And that's a lot of trust right there. From your point guard, you got to know your other teammates' capabilities. You put that up too high, that's a turnover. But right there, Kobe Simmons says, if you throw it, it'll make you look good.
Approaching 6.5 minutes to go, and Corvallis by himself underneath, and the lay-in for Jackson Cartwright.
And that's just fatigue right there. We talked about the injuries. We talked about the lack of personnel for the Beavers. Guys are tired. That's just a mental breakdown. Simple back screen and easiest 2 points Arizona's had all night.
Drew Eubanks trying the left hand. Gets the offensive rebound. And a late whistle and a foul will put Eubanks into strike. Start your Super Bowl Sunday with our next NBA Sunday Showcase game presented by Verizon Go 90. It's Blake Griffin and the Clippers in Boston to take on Isaiah Thomas and the Celtics at 2 on ABC. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown with Sage and Jalen, presented by Straight Talk Wireless at 1:30. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Super Bowl Sunday, we'll also have a Pac-12 tilt for you on ESPNU.
A good one indeed as things heat up. Everyone trying to claw their way to the top half of the conference and finish strong. A conference that may send 4, 5, maybe even 6 teams to the NCAA tournament. A lot of great games over the next couple of weeks that will kind of settle things in the Pac-12.
Colorado at Cal on Super Bowl Sunday as Drew Eubanks called for his 4th. Oregon State led at the half for the first time in conference play. Opened up a 4-point lead early in the second half, but since it's been all Arizona. And Oregon State headed to 0-10 in Pac-12 play on their 10th straight loss as Keanu Pinder in the game for the first time. A native of Perth, Australia for the Wildcats. Alonzo Trier.
Nobody home on the weak side, and to be honest with you, Roxy, I don't think anybody wanted to be home on that one. Alonzo Trier just taking it to another level. This is a guy coming off the bench after everything he's been through, just clearly hasn't missed a beat for Arizona.
Kendall Manuel launches for 3. Third 3 for the redshirt freshman from Billings, Montana. Pinder inside, and Keanu Pinder. His first touch results in points.
Roxy, Arizona has completely abandoned the three-point shot in the second half, and they've realized how good they can be when they attack the basket.
Flipped up and in. Stevie Thompson Jr. was 16 to lead Oregon State.
Boy, he's so tough, and it's kind of unfair. He's asked to do so much in the current situation with guys being out. He can score, but he's got to have the ball in his hand the whole game and kind of play point guard for the Beavers, and he's done a good job. But plays like that show you he is really a 2 that can score in this conference.
Alonzo Trier will head to the line for U of A.
With everybody worried about rotations and guarding their man, that's just a first step blow-by move by Alonzo Trier. And he saw nobody was rotating, and by the time they figured it out, it was way too late, as Trier has been the spark to give Arizona that push here in the second half.
2 of 3 at the line tonight. And Trier, who made his season debut at UCLA a couple of weeks ago. More for Trier. Again, the big matchup on Saturday for Arizona down in Eugene against the University of Oregon.
That is going to be a great game. So many talented players on the floor. Both teams not afraid to run. Both teams loaded with outstanding athletes. I think mentally a game like this for Arizona is good. It's a good preparation. They didn't come out well, but they made adjustments, and mentally they stayed tough. And you know, going into Matthew Knight Arena, they are going to have to be mentally tough because Oregon is a handful at home.
Trier is tied a season high with 17. Stevie Thompson Jr. off the screen. Rattles out, and there's Pinder securing the rebound. Arizona on their way to their 15th straight win and up their record to 21-2, remain perfect in the conference at 10-0. It was a struggle for a while tonight. In the second half, they've turned that switch on. Chance Comanche is fouled. Comanche to the line as Arizona clearly has picked it up here in the second half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the $4 Real Deal. 4 items for just $4 at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
See, Corey, back to you guys.
All right, Adnan, so Gonzaga at BYU. Big Monday game coming up, Louisville and Virginia, but how difficult is that task tonight for Gonzaga, Corey? We've done a lot of games together in Provo at the Marriott Center. How tough of an environment will that be for the Zags tonight?
You can't just throw your shoes out there at the Marriott Center and expect to win. There's so much emotion in that building. BYU, they love to play fast and shoot and get that crowd into the game. You got to come out there and defend because they're a team that can score. And I tell you, that's why I love college basketball. Nothing is a given. I mean, for the first 20 minutes here tonight, we saw something we never saw before, which is the Beavers in the lead. But you're going back to the Zags. They've got to come and be disciplined and defend and not take BYU for granted.
One more for Chance Comanche. 1 out of 2 for the big man. And Arizona's matched their largest lead.
And we talked at halftime, and after a first half like that, if your team like Arizona, it's one of two things in the second half. Either you're going to come out fired up or you're going to come out scared. And I think Arizona answered that question as those guys came out and kind of matter-of-factly put together nice runs and made plays.
And one for Grigoriy Rakorcevic. He has 10. Keanu Pinder the foul.
You know, Roxy, we're looking at the AP top 10. There's so many teams in that top 10 that are capable of winning 6 games in a row in the NCAA tournament. And this is what coaches are looking for. How does my team react when we play a bad 10 minutes or a bad 20 minutes? The teams that can dig deep and gut it out, those are the teams that have a chance of ending up in the Final Four in Phoenix.
So Rakorcevic at the line with 10 points tonight. His career high is 12 earlier this season against Nevada. Got a strong game tonight for Oregon State, as Rakorcevic has now started each of the last 5 games for Wayne Tinkle.
Right now, in the last few minutes, Beavers have abandoned the zone defense and man-to-man, which has also caused some matchup problems, but at this point, get some in-game experience with some man-to-man defense. Why not?
Rawle Alkins launches. And the rebound, Kendall Manuel for the Beavers. Ja'Cory McLaughlin missing a 3. There's Ronnie Stacy for Oregon State. And Stacy stepped on the end line. No, he's bumped out of bounds. A foul on Rawle Alkins, his second. Saturday in ACC SEC college hoops double dip for you on ESPN. Number 20 Notre Dame and number 12 North Carolina from the Dean Dome at 6. Then we head to Gainesville, number 8 Kentucky, number 24 Florida, and our Saturday primetime game presented by AT&T. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. One more for Ronnie Stacy, the junior from Alexander City, Alabama. Rebound for Markkanen. 10 rebounds tonight. Just 8 points. But a balanced attack for the Wildcats. And Alonzo Trier will head back to the free throw line.
But your leading scorer, Lauri Markkanen, doesn't have a breakout game, but doesn't really overreact. Other guys step up, and Arizona's still about to post a double-digit win. got to be happy if you're Sean Miller about something like that. Alonzo Trier picking up the slack, but very impressed with Arizona, the way they made a run here in the second half. No one got rattled. And Roxy, we're talking about freshmen who've never played in this gym. This is their first go-around in Pac-12 play, and it's not uncommon to see young guys get a little nervous.
How much of it also, Corey, is the look ahead with Oregon looming on Saturday?
Well, everyone knows you don't want to return to Tucson having split a road trip in Oregon, because everyone knows what that means. And everyone knows what's on the line Saturday in Eugene. So do guys come out and kind of mail it in? I don't think that's what happened tonight. I think the Beavers just came out with a great strategy, a lot of intensity, and kind of punched Arizona in the mouth for the first half. But
Travel
you're right.
called.
Yeah, looking forward to Oregon. Everyone knows that's the game that they really know they have to get.
And that's the only regular season matchup between the Ducks and the Wildcats.
I'm excited to see the Oregon uniforms. That's all I want to see. I want to see what they come out to play in, because they are the trendsetters of the Pac-12.
Third on Ben Kone as Chance Comanche will head back to the line. So Arizona will head to 21-2, and Sean Miller's team will win their 15th in a row and remain unbeaten in conference play at 10-0, heading into that matchup at Matt Court on Saturday.
You got to give a lot of credit to Wayne Tinkle and the Beavers. The strategy was in place. It was effective. And like you said earlier, they just simply ran out of gas. But they had it working the way they wanted. They were shutting down key Arizona players. They were getting defensive stops. But in the second half, Arizona just too much sauce.
Corey McLaughlin will head to the line. Fallon, Parker, Jackson, Cartwright. Here's what's coming up for the Wildcats. And again, that matchup with Oregon on Saturday. Then the Bay Area schools head down to the desert. Then a road trip up through the state of Washington. So Corey McLaughlin, interesting route to Oregon State for the freshman, as he originally committed to Oregon State when Craig Robinson was the coach here. But then he decommitted when Robinson was fired. Opened up his recruitment, committed to Washington, decommitted, and then committed again to Oregon State.
How many hats did he have? Was it one of those situations where he had a bunch of different hats? I mean, you've seen the foolishness that's gone on with signing day, but obviously kids deciding where they're going to go to school, under what circumstances, what coaches are they going to play for. And I tell you, there's not a finer guy right there than Wayne Tinkle, and the way he inspires his players and gets the most out of them. You and I covered him at Montana several years, and just a great X&O coach, great motivator. Looks like he can still put on a jersey and teach the big men a few things.
Keanu Pinder on the offensive glass. And a foul will put Pinder on the line. And I know it's late in a one-sided game, but Keanu Pinder's been impressive. And for the first time this season, he didn't play. That was last Sunday against Washington. He's come out trying to prove to Sean Miller, I deserve some playing time. I deserve to be in this rotation.
Well, yeah, it's a tough situation because it's not anything against him. It's just Arizona's so loaded with talent. It's just too many good guys in a sense. But you know what I saw just now is Pinder playing hard, going up. But I saw the entire bench for Arizona up, applauding second-string guys. That togetherness is special when you see that in college basketball.
Oregon State, they'll fall to 4-19 and 0-10 in Pac-12 play, as Ronnie Stacy left it short. And there's Pinder elevating for the rebound. Final minute here at Gill Coliseum. And again, coming up next, unbeaten Gonzaga on the road at BYU. and they remain unbeaten. Dave Rose's team trying to hand the Zags their first loss. Shot clock at 5. Simmons. And there's Keanu Pinder, but he traveled first.
Well, actually, we talk with Dave Rose and BYU, always asking him, what's the key? And he says, we just have to make shots, make more shots than the other team. He's a very simple man with a simple philosophy, and the Cougars will have their hands full with the Zags here, but they like to put it up.
And for Arizona, it was a struggle for the first 20 minutes, but in the second half, they've dominated and looked like the Arizona team we expected here tonight in Corvallis. Korčević, new career high of tying 12 points. And that'll do it, and Arizona pulls away in the second half. And a 17-point win led by a season-high 18 from Alonzo Trier. So the Wildcats have won 15 straight. They're 21-2 at number 5 Arizona, 10-0 in Pac-12 play. My partner Corey Williams and our terrific ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein saying so long from Corvallis, 71-54. The Cats win it. Now to the studio, Adnan, Kara, and Jeff.